again with a different topic. She's like, we follow this thing called the game plan when we're at work. And I think it's very important that most people follow the game plan. If you're working at a place that's... Yeah, oh wow, those are some nice nails.
You want to show everybody your nails? Nice and blue.
But we digress. So the game plan is for people that are like overworked and underpaid.
Which is us.
Which is us. Where basically you do the least amount of work possible. And the reason why we have this game plan is because we've been working at the same place for years. And no matter how much extra work we did, we would do like 150%. And it's not an exaggeration. Like, we were doing stuff for other people.
Like, above and beyond what we're required to do.
And our managers didn't care. They didn't notice. And at the end of the day, they were just like, oh, cool, the work got done. So we decided, let's step down a bit. And we started doing less and less and less. And they didn't notice.
But we were still getting the minimal requirements done.
Right, like if they would have like a to-do list and we would make sure we got everything on that list done, but we wouldn't do anything else. And they didn't
more
care.
extras.
Nothing extra. Were we going the extra mile? Sure
No.
weren't. Definitely not.
Definitely not.
We were acing the bare minimum. See, you get it.
Sissy gets it.
And it was really funny because we went in for a yearly review. Where you have to rate yourself in different categories from 1 being the worst or 5 being the best and anywhere in between. And it's just coughing me. And I gave myself all 2s.
I pretty much did too, because we know we're following the game plans. I mean, there's no hiding it.
Right. So if they were to say, hey, well, not even if they were to say, our manager said, hey, we noticed you're not really doing above and beyond. And we're like, you're right. That's exactly what's happening. And and so I explained the game plan to our manager, and it was basically to say, you know, we've been trying so hard to do what's expected of us and more for so long, and kind of being treated poorly regardless. Like, nobody cared that we were doing extra. They just expected more from us.
Yeah.
Always thought like we were goofing off, which, I mean, we goof off sometimes, but they would say...
But that was after everything was done.
Yes, after everything was like finished, we'd gotten everything, or we were like ahead of schedule, then we would goof off. We would be having fun, and that was the only part that they saw.
Right.
They never thought to ask the question, hey, you guys
like,
done?
is this done? Is that done? It's already done. Like, that's why we're
finished.
Reading magazines.
And going, boo. Essentially, everything that's going on here, that's what we were doing.
That's what we do.
Now... Yeah, you're...
Sissy always follows the game plan.
Always. So what would be funny, though, is the managers that would get mad at us. Like, we'd be up there going like, boo, and then a manager would come up and be like, you guys are goofing off. What are you doing?
Put cigarettes away.
And we'd be like, oh, we were just having some fun. Like, what do you want us to do? And they would be like, well, did you do the go-backs? And I'd be like, yeah, we did the go-backs. Put everything back in the... Like, what about, did you get the sign-off sheet done?
Yeah.
Totally did that. They'd be like, what about the break at the gas station? And I'd be like, someone's doing it right now.
So basically we were doing everything too fast.
How'd all these bags get here? Who did that?
So we just slowed it down and created the game plan.
And it's totally wonderful. I actually...
Works. We do it every shift.
I made a post on my blog about the game plan. I'll link that below so people can see it, because I feel like a lot of times, especially for younger people that are in their early 20s, well, people have been in their early 20s for several...
In my 20s?
For
I've been in
several
my
years.
20s for a decade now.
It's disrespectful for managers to look at us and go, oh, well, they're young, so they must not know what they're doing. They're goofing off, they're laughing, which means they couldn't possibly have gotten it done. And I'm like, no, we got it done, and we have free time. Just because no one else who works here and does this job is as efficient as us.
But they just make too many assumptions. They don't ask what's done, what's not done. They just...
And that's the
see
problem.
us as, right, and just assume that we're not doing anything.
Figured out which ones we need.
Oh, here we are. We're being ghosts. Boo!
Wow, how those get put away? What did you do? It's a mystery. It's shrouded in it. Which I get it, because like when you have like younger workers that are kind of like goofing off, I get it. But in our experience, the younger cashiers are generally the most efficient ones. Like they're fastest. They stand in the front of the register. They call people over. It's the older cashiers that are like wandering off, trying to avoid responsibility, and we have to be like, hey, can you please just do your job for 15 minutes? We had a guy that worked with us who threw adult temper tantrums, was throwing food at us, and then we got in trouble for not working well with him. And I was like,
which no one could work well with this guy. Like,
I'm like, he physically assaulted a customer, and that was my fault for not babysitting a 50-year-old man. So
possibly 60. We're not sure.
And so, you know, after years of that, we were like, someone's got to give. There's got to be some sort of solution to that. Game plan. And so when I come in, or when you come in, and we're like, oh God, you know, there's 5 breaks that need to be done.
Nobody does anything while we're not there.
Exactly. And so we'll be like, well, let's just send 3 people at a break at one time. And
they'll come up, the management will come up and say, where's everyone at? We're like, well, they're all on break since y'all didn't send nobody to break.
And they go, why?
We came in.
They're like, why would you do that? And we're like, game plan. And then, like, we hop on register, we ring customers out for like 10 minutes.
And everything's totally fine.
And then when those cashiers come back from their breaks, we're caught up. Or we'll send somebody to put stuff back on shelves that people didn't want. Or we'll say, hey, can you go do this task? Just focus on that task. We'll cover the front end. You know, if there's lines, we'll hop on. And we get everything done. Everything's covered. And yet, after we've proven time and time again that we know exactly what we're doing and we're very efficient and we can get it done, they still don't believe us.
We're ghosts. They think we're ghosts. I don't know why.
That sounded like gibberish. So what we've started doing is taking pictures of ourselves doing all the things they say we don't
we're not doing.
So when we're emptying the trash, we're collecting the trash, taking a selfie and going like, look at us, we're not taking out the trash. Like, who did it? It's a mystery. We must be ghosts. And it's like when we're collecting the coupons at the end of the night, I'm like, I'm collecting the coupons, but somehow I'm not. We're the Schrodinger supervisors.
Doing it?
We're both doing everything and nothing at the same time. It's great. Did you just get a slice of cheese?
Yes, she did.
Game plan. So that is the game plan, and I highly advise it because it's a way to like not be stressed out at work. Well, you know, you're getting the bare minimum done because there are a lot of people that go to work.
They get mad at us basically for having a good time at work, and there's no reason to not have fun at work. Like, you have to be there anyway, so why not enjoy it? You know what I mean?
Exactly. And I feel like they look at us and they're like, oh, well, they're just best friends. They're always goofing off. No, yes, well, yeah, we are goofing off, but like, because we're best friends, we work so well together that you'll go like, hey, I'm gonna go do trash. I'm like, cool, I'll watch the front while you do that. As opposed to anybody else, if I were to say, hey, I'm gonna go do trash, I couldn't trust them to watch the front. I couldn't trust them to do this by themselves, so I can never go off
or even hop on register, because we're like the 2 fastest cashiers in the store, so...
And we're not even exaggerating, like they did...
And we don't even try, like we've tried to go more slowly, and we just can't do it.
There's a thing on the register that measures how many items you scan per minute, and we are consistently in like the top 3.
But yet we suck.
We can't. We're always socializing.
Yeah, we're horrible at our jobs.
Awful, just awful. Because we didn't get any customer compliments. Is that what?
Oh yeah, that's what they said.
I'm like, we work 1 day a week. What do you expect?
Right.
So, that's the game plan. Totally is. So, I guess the takeaway from this would be, if you are stuck in a job that you like, because I have fun there. I enjoy working with the people that we work with. I know just about everyone. I like working there.
But you just have to give what you receive.
Right. So if you've been giving like 200%, 150%, or whatever, like above and beyond for a while, and they're just not recognizing it, and you aren't really in a position to quit, or
then
you don't
just stop giving so many percent.
Exactly. And they can't get mad at you for not doing extra. If you didn't have time,
right.
like if you don't do extra, you're like, well, I got the basic done, just like so-and-so and so-and-so. You know, why is it a bad thing that I didn't wipe down every register when...
The cashiers are supposed to do that to begin with, so...
So we're getting yelled at for not doing the work that other people are supposed to be doing. And after a while, we're like...
It's ridiculous.
Game
plan.
That's why we have the game plan. And I honestly highly encourage it to other people because it's a way to send a message to management that like, hey, you know, we're tired of doing so much extra and not being recognized for it.
Right, no appreciation at all.
And when we recently had our yearly review, because our manager has only been there for about a year, and he didn't know about the game plan. He didn't know why we were sticking to the game plan. And so we had to explain it to him. And I think in explaining it to him, your mustache fell off. Cheese mustache. I think in explaining it to him, he really kind of, he seemed to understand. So like, I also encourage like having like a straight up conversation with your manager, like first. if they're not willing to listen, then game plan. But you know, at least talk to them first and be like, hey, here's what's going on. Because I talked to several managers about like the disrespect that was going on. None of them did anything about it. So we're like, forget it. We're just gonna game plan. And because we're gonna have fun at work. Why not? I feel like you should always be able to have fun at work. And so I explained that to him, and I think he kind of took notice and was like, oh, okay. So when you're goofing off and like socializing or laughing or whatever, it's because you've gotten everything else done. I'm like, yes. Which means you can come to us and say, hey, since you seem to have everything else done, can you do this thing for me?
Right.
Let me help you out. Like, we're basically assistant managers. Because
I mean,
we're supposed to be able to run the entire department by ourselves. So if he needs us to do something for him.
we run several departments by ourselves.
Yeah, we run several
much.
departments.
I mean...
And so if he were to need help, he could just come to us and say, hey, you know, I need to get this done by the end of the night. Is there any way you could do A, B, or C? Any way you can help us out? We'll be like, cool. We'll make time for that. We'll find a way to get that done. And if not, then, oh well. We weren't originally supposed to do it anyway. So, there's that. That's the game plan. Featuring Sissy Boo and her...
Thanks, sis!
She has a cheese goatee. Oh, it fell off. So anyway, that's the game plan. Thanks, YouTube, for listening. If you have anything, any kind of like solutions or
if
advice,
you yourself are following some sort of game plan, let us know.
Yes, leave a comment in the box below with like what you do or any comments you have, because I would love to hear from other people that have been sticking to the game plan and not realizing what to call it. And I also want to universally have the game plan. Maybe we could trademark it. We could, or copyright it. Like, this is the game
plan. Like Tracy trademark.
Tracy trademark. That's an inside joke.
That's another story.
So yeah, I would love to hear from you. We would love to hear from you. Comments or any questions, concerns, I'm sure there's some, about the game plan, the specifics of it. And like I said, I'll have a link below to my blog post about it that's kind of more in detail about it. So, with that being said, bye YouTube! Wave goodbye, Sissy Boo!
Say bye, Sissy!
Bye, Sissy.